record this section for prosperity. And let's get crack-a-lackin'. So today, as I mentioned, we are doing, what are we doing today? Campaigns today. So as always, I'm trying to track, and I see a lot of you aren't doing this. It's just, if you could just click on your screen, click on the 3 dots, and then scroll down to where it says rename, and type your name with your market center number. That it's really valuable for the market center tech trainers to know who from their market centers have attended class, and this is why we ask this question, because I give them a hard time when I don't see people from their market centers. So you're helping them out. It's really what this is all about. So if you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. All right. So let me go ahead and share screen here. Share screen. Campaigns. Who's got some ahas for me? Because you guys know that I can't start a day without ahas from yesterday, the previous session. So who has something that they learned yesterday or this week that they're feeling good about? They did some homework. They went and incorporated some things in their business. Who's got something?
I'll go first. Those videos yesterday, that was a real revelation. I think that's super.
Okay, so the predefined neighborhood videos.
Yeah.
Cool. Just remember, utilizing them is great, but they do update. So creating one or sharing that link to that one is not going to give it fresh information. So maybe once a month, you go back, if you're sharing those, that you post a new one. Who else has something?
Hello, this is Patricia. I'm just learning overall that there's a lot of wonderful tools and resources that Keller Williams provides. And it's just really a matter of sorting through that and prioritizing, what tools you're going to use and how you're going to get started, basically. But it's all good.
Yeah, and you're spot on. There is a lot, right? We talk a lot about the overwhelmingness nature of it all. Keep it simple, right? Focus on your contacts. Be robust with your contacts, right? Everything else will kind of start to splinter off from there because that ties into everything. Contacts, smart plans, opportunities are the big 3. So everything else will come together for you. Give yourself time. Don't worry about getting everything integrated at once, but that's where you need to start. Be robust with your contacts. All right, this screen, obviously, just so you know who you are and what your market center are. So if you were wondering what your market center number, that's what these are here on the screen. All right, next slide. I am recording. Today we're doing campaigns. So campaigns today. So a couple of housekeeping issues, like homework-wise from setting standpoint. You have to have a Facebook business page to post through command to Facebook or Instagram. Okay, or a Twitter page, right? You cannot post directly to your personal page. You cannot run an advertisement with only a personal page. So if you don't have a business page, talk to your market center tech trainer, Google how to create a business page. Not hard, right? But you want to be complete. There may be some brokerage cleanups, so you do need to, there's some walls around it. There's a good VAR video around marketing and utilizing social channels. I'm not going to dive into that here, but the one click away. But what I recommend when you build out a Facebook page and you have your header is to create a header that has your logo, that has your contact information, that has your brokerage information, so it's on display, so you're compliant. If you're not sure, talk to your MCTT, talk to your broker, talk to your team leader about that. But setting up the page itself, not overwhelmingly difficult. You guys are all competent and capable to do that, but you have to have a business page and it has to be connected inside of command, which we talked about in the settings section under settings. There are you'll see 2 Facebooks, right? One's for posting and one's for advertising. And then you'll see Twitter. And then those are the 3 that we can connect with right now if you use Twitter. So you can connect those to direct post to those channels that we'll talk a little bit about today. If you're using command campaign email, you have to make sure that your command email is configured, also under the settings section. Okay, you have to set up a reply to email for that email to come into your platform. Is your marketing profile complete? Common theme here. That's a pretty important thing that ties to everything else that we do. And then on the campaigns page, in order to run an ad, okay, well, command is free, running advertising is not. So that's the onus is on you guys to make those payments. So you have to connect a credit card through Command. You'll see a payments button. We'll show you that to pay for those ads that you're going to run on Facebook. While the ads themselves can be inexpensive, they'll run a charge. You'll pay for it and Command, just so you know, where a lot of other. Let me just kind of close this real quick. A lot of times, our fees for pay-per-click advertising, as you hear about them, can be expensive. Almost 50% of the cost goes back to the provider. KW takes no percentage, no piece, and I want this to be very clear. KW takes no percentage, no piece of any of the advertising dollars that you guys spend with Facebook. They collect the money and they send it directly to Facebook. They take no percentage of it. They don't put it in their bank account. It's a pass-through. And I think that's important to know. That's also a reason why that the cost is cheaper in our relationship with Facebook, is because KW does not have their hands out in any of this. And I think that a lot of people do miss that fact. All right, so let's I'm going to come back to that in a second. So let's go into Command dashboard here.
Ay, yung mama kasi.
And let's bring this up on the screen. All right, so as always, from the home screen, we've got our tasks on the left, but to kind of just housekeep, a couple of the items that I talked about earlier are under settings, right? So under settings, you have to configure your Facebook, Twitter, if you use it, on this page. Post scheduling, that means I have the ability to post directly to my business page. It's not an ad, it's just something I'm going to post directly to my business page, but it's not going to my personal page. Okay, and you can schedule those out. So we'll talk about that. Ads manager for Facebook, that's the paid ad. And when you run an ad, you won't see it on your business page, right? Because that's going out into the ether to go into the people's business pages or people's personal pages that you're marketing to. So understand there's a difference. I get that question a lot. Hey, I ran an ad, but it's not on my page. It's not meant to. It's meant to go out to the ether and be in front of the people that it should be in front of. So that's a difference there. Twitter, I'll be honest, I have not run a single Twitter ad, but some people do. Facebook is just a lot cheaper, more expensive, and more proficient. So I focus a lot of talking to that. But if you are a Twitter person, you can connect your account and advertise through that channel as well. Google AdWords, that's much more higher level cost of pay-per-click. We do integrate with Command, but I don't really talk to that in these channels because most agents aren't doing that right now. All right, so those are the settings. One more, sorry, at the bottom, just as a reminder, you do need to connect your Command email, right? Your reply to, you get 5,000 emails a month. It does also integrate in with MailChimp. So if there's anybody on here utilizing MailChimp, I'm not going to train to that, but if you pay for that service, you can integrate with MailChimp through this platform. Fair enough. All right, let's come back to the home page. And on the left, we've got our microphone, our megaphone, campaigns. So campaigns is going to bring us to our campaigns dashboard. All right. And across the top, you see the dashboard. That's where we are. Paid ads, emails, direct mail, and social posts. We'll talk a little bit about each of those. Over on the right is your payments, right? That's where you would have to go in and set up a credit card in order for you to run a paid ad, right? So I think we kind of covered that. Right below it here, you see your connected accounts. Paid ads, which means these are the channels that where I can actually post marketing and advertising to, right? So I've got my Twitter page connected. I've got my business page connected. Okay. And I actually have my Google account connected, although I don't utilize it, but it is connected. Social posts are where I can post directly to business pages that I have administrative rights to. I happen to have two, okay, through my market center and my business page. So that's what connected accounts means. Are your social channels plugged in to where you can either advertise through or post directly on through a post scheduler? So on our dashboard, we'll see a couple of things. I haven't run any ads recently, but this would be tracking your spend. Your leads would be under here, campaigns that you've run, engagement, like have people kind of chimed in, have you gotten capture? So that's what you're seeing here under your performance, and you can filter that across. Lead goal, right? Has anybody set their 2021 goals inside of Command? Right? So you have a lead goal for appointments and contacts, right? And leads. So this will be keeping you track tracking you on target. Now I will tell you, KW is still working a little bit on cleaning up some of the reports functions, so it may not be as accurate as we would like it to be, but it is there. And just don't panic if the numbers aren't 100%. They're doing some things on the back end there for you as well. You have quick posts. Quick posts are great for those times where you're like, I want to add or I want to post something, but I don't know what to do. They share these quick posts for you right here on this home screen, where you can literally click right on any of those, right? And here's your neighborhood video that we did yesterday. And it tells you and shares you and gives you content that you can literally post directly to those channels. So if I just click on that, it'll populate that information right away, right? Pulls in the text, pulls in the imagery, right? And then it'll say, hey, where do I want to post this, right? My business page, one of my business pages, and then schedule post. See how quickly it was? Quick post. I didn't even have to think of what to post. KW has something auto-generated for you directly. Great place to start. And if I click schedule, okay, it'll say, where am I going, right? I can pick which page. Perfect. This is what it's going to look like. If I click schedule post, then it's going to schedule post, and right across the top, it says page scheduled for February 11th to go out. Now, also, I'm going to jump right here to schedule post so you can see it. So I'm all the way down here in the end, schedule post. All right.
David, sorry. David,
Yeah.
sorry. I mean, I know we have it, but I didn't see. We selected just today, 11. Any option like we can schedule next week, next
Yeah.
week?
I'm
I
gonna get
didn't
there.
see that.
Yeah, I'm going to get there in just a second. I
Sorry.
did a quick post, right? Quick post means I'm going to post it now.
Thank you.
So right now, under social posts, I'm going to show you the calendar. All right, so I went to social post, and as Amir asked, right, I posted it. I mean, it's going to post today. But when I go to scheduled post under social post, I'll see my calendar, right? And on the drop down, I see create a post by day, right? Then I also have to see I had a quick post, right, that's scheduled. I can edit the post to change it up. Okay, a quick post is meant to be posted now. Okay, and then when I come in here and edit this, I can click schedule post or publish immediately. Quick posts are going to publish immediately. But if I want to go ahead and edit that, then I just come back in, like I click the 3 dots on edit for that post. Then I can go in here and choose the date. Maybe I want it to go out on Friday. Okay, and kind of schedule that out that way. So I'm going to come back to that scheduler. Come back to the home page, and we'll see that it's on my schedule. Again, also from this page, I see more suggested quick posts. So there's always fresh contact there that you could say, hey, I don't have to be creative for things that I want to post just to kind of engage on my business page. Remember, when you're posting things to your business page, your followers, or you're not going to have few people, I'm gonna say not few, on your personal page. Everybody have about 1,000 followers or connections on Facebook, right? Upwards. That's probably close. I don't know if that's the average, but a lot of agents have close to 1,000. Whether it's 100, 200, 500, doesn't really matter, right? The percentage of people that actually like and follow your business page are going to be a very small percentage in comparison to those that you have on your personal page. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It is important to have a business page for the things that we covered earlier, which is getting your brand out there, running advertising. If you can get people to follow your business page, that's great, right? Because then you're providing content. That's going to happen more organically. And as you remind people to follow those pages, or past clients post testimonials to you, that they'll be there. Don't panic. It's okay. Social media, the social posts, that these quick posts or posting things directly to your business page, there's no fee to that. It's completely free. Right? The only cost is when you're running paid advertising. That's targeted advertising, which we're going to talk to in a minute. Social posts, this content that KW and WeBrand are providing for you is completely free for you to use and post to your page. So across the top, I see my calendar. I see that I have at 10 o'clock posting, because that's what time that's going to kick out on my scheduled post that I created. If I wanted to create a new one from scratch, okay, I could say, hey, let's create a new campaign, and maybe I want to post it next right? I'm going to create a social post. I can upload a video. I can post a link. I can choose from my designs. I can upload an image if I created something that I wanted to share. I can browse my designs library, right? Because remember, yesterday we talked about designs. So things that I created in designs, I could upload in an advertisement or as a post into my my Facebook business account, right? So there's a couple different elements of size of how that display is going to kick in. Like anything else, if we've talked a lot about, go around and play with things. If you're under a time crunch, it's going to take you longer because you're going to end up in a panic because you're not going to be comfortable with this yet, right? So go in here like we're doing today, leave here today and go ahead and start playing around with some of these things. It's like, okay, I watched the video, went through class. What does it actually feel like to kind of do some of these things? You're going to have to go out and do it. It's the only way to do it. Don't be scared. It's okay. We all started somewhere. It's just like that first transaction. We all had to start somewhere, right? Same thing with a Facebook post. And remember, these are not ads. These are just posts. Right now, we're just talking about posting directly on your business page. Okay, then I can come down here and when I want to schedule this, I can schedule immediately and it's going to go out right now. Schedule a post. I have the date and the time. I noticed I didn't show you the time when I created the last one. I can actually pick the time that I want that to go. Right, Amir, you were getting ready to ask that question, right? I showed you the date and then you wanted the time, right?
Yes, thank you.
You got it, buddy. All right, so the date and times are right here on that page. Sometimes when I don't scroll down enough, I don't give you all the information that you're looking for. And then you can preview the post to see what it's going to look like, right? I haven't finalized it. That's why this image isn't completely there yet. But that's what the post would look like if it was going out onto class and I would schedule. I'm not going to do that. But then you see the ability to create another. This is a great vehicle. So you might want to have multiple posts throughout the week. So what if you sat down on a Sunday afternoon and created, hey, here's the things that I want to post throughout the week. Maybe it's a happy birthday to certain clients. Maybe it's interest rates are going low, or maybe it's about my open house. Things that I want, or a closing I just had, things that I want to go out every day on my business page. You can actually schedule them out in advance, set it and forget it, and they're automatically going to go on the assigned date and time. Some of you may be familiar with a platform called Hootsuite, right? That's kind of what this is. It's a version of post scheduling, right, to get things out. It's very nice to have a calendar of events, and I'll have to look there. If you search Google, search realtors social media postings. Like there's lists of things. What should you post? There's no lack of information. I think the hardest thing for us as realtors is not the doing, it's the creation, right? Some of us, if we've been in the business a little while or we haven't been in business at all, struggle with creativity. That's why these quick posts are so great. That's why you use Google, right? Search Google for what do realtors post about on social media. They're going to give you some ideas, replicate those ideas and bring them, internalize them to your local market. Don't worry about being super creative and a marketing professional and then recreate the wheel. Just use some things that are out there. I will give you, there's a Facebook group, and if Jerry can post this, there's a Facebook group called Command Your Conversion, which is a great channel on Facebook run by a gentleman by the name of Nick Baldwin. Nick is not anymore, but he used to be an RTT like me up in the Michigan area. He was a former team leader. He's very, very passionate about what he does and helping agents. And he shares a lot of informative information. And that in that group, they talk about best practices and testing and what's working, what's not working. When it comes to social media, the hardest thing, besides being creative, right, is that just because Nick posted something to engage with his sphere or his database or his followers or to his audience in Michigan, you might not get the same results here in Virginia. So there's a lot of trial and error around what you're doing. So just because you run one ad and it's not the success that you're looking for, okay, or one post, don't quit. It's like anything else. You have to be sustainable in what you're doing. So give it time, okay? Try different things and see what strikes with your audience.
Actually,
So
I saw some of the YouTube from that Nick Baldwin you said. He was great. Some of the ideas, stuff like that.
Yeah. So that's the great thing about what we do as a company, right? Is that we all share. And I hope you guys are the same way, right? That's what I've been with many, I've been with KW 13 years now, but I was with a different company before that. And I had experienced different companies, right? There's a lot of closed door mentalities for a lot of people to think that the way they do business is so proprietary. That's not it at all. We learn from each other. There's enough, well, I said there's enough business. There's not enough inventory to go around right now, but there's usually enough business to go around for everybody, right? But I assure you, there's no secret sauce to real estate. There's only consistency. Doing things the right way, consistently for long enough will generate business for you. I love the open door policy, the open sharing, right? Anything I do in my business, I would share openly with each and every one of you. And I hope that you all would do the same, right? And that's why I say, if you see something that's working for somebody else, ask some questions and then see how you can implement that into your business. So this is social posts. So the big things, the big takeaways there are social posts go directly to your business page. Okay. Social posts do not cost you anything. Okay. There are quick posts that are generated for you inside of Command for you to utilize and share. You can create your own through the templates and designs that we talked about yesterday. Right. So you have a lot of options and creativity around how and what to share. And social posts can be scheduled in advance. Social posts are not advertising that show up randomly in people's feeds. That's paid advertising, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Go in here, play around, see what's going on, schedule some things out, get comfortable with the format. Before I move on, Jerry, any questions around social posts?
There was the only one was, and I think you're about to do it, was just talking about scheduling it in terms of seeing it after it's scheduled. So whether it's this week or show them the monthly view so they can see ahead and know that type of stuff.
Right. So I can scroll across these arrows to see what's going on. I can filter by the channels that I have going on here. I can see my live and scheduled posts, and I can see any drafts that I may have created that I haven't said, hey, yes, launch these yet. Okay. I will say I'm seeing a couple of chats, Ellen. There was one other that are coming direct to me. If you guys could post your questions to everybody, I won't be able to respond to questions that are coming direct to me per se. All right. So, those quick posts, there's a shuffle button here. So if you don't like the quick posts that are on display to you, you can shuffle those and see if there are other posts that you might want to utilize. So don't think that there's only 2 or 3 on that page. I don't know what the actual recycle number looks like behind the back end, but you can shuffle that and see other options, and you're not restricted to just those 2 or 3 that are available to you. I'm just going to bounce back to my dashboard here. So reminder, performance, lead, connected accounts, quick post, and at the very bottom of the dashboard, I wanted to make sure that I got this there too. There's training tips. So just like you have this training available to you on the YouTube channel and some of the, we talked about answers.kw.com, there's specific training that's tagged inside of this portal that, hey, how do I create a neighborhood smart video? That's what we talked about yesterday, but how do I do that? You know, how do I track campaign results? We're going to talk about that, but here's a step-by-step article for you, right? How do I send a newsletter via email campaigns? Here's an article on how to do that. Also, there's a guy on YouTube, Garrett Stewart. Garrett, forgetting Garrett's last name at the moment. He did some really nice trainings on emails, right? There are so many other trainers, Market Center tech trainers, regional tech trainers that share how to different things that it's great to kind of just surf YouTube sometimes by a topic. See what trainers, see what videos pop up. Lori Bow and Marty Miller, Nick Baldwin, Garrett, what other people, John Morris that are doing, Jay Cermak. Those are all KW instructors that are passionate about what we do that you can also learn. Remember, I talk a lot. Thank you, Garrett Stewart. Thanks, Ted. Our own Ted Townsley, Jerry, right? We all share different bits of information because we all look at things differently. There's never one way to do all of these things. There's many, many, many ways to do things. It's just a matter of finding your own, what I call your social voice, right? How do you present yourself? And what is that message that's coming across from you about your business to those that you're following? There's also a see more. And when you click see more, it jumps to KW Connect. And you remember on that first class we did, I talked to you about all those channels that you should bookmark. So this jumps directly to KW Connect, right? And it went directly to your marketing training guide, where there's all kinds of videos of how to do things. And these are a little bit like, my videos are an hour long, and I get a little long-winded. So our class has been an hour and 15 minutes long. But these are all more 7 to 10 minute type videos that maybe are a little bit quicker and digestible for you as you kind of working through. And the difference is theirs is it's just one person talking to a screen and not to an entire audience, right? So they're able to kind of get very direct, very specific about things that they're building out. All right. So before I jump into paid advertising, we good on posting directly to social? Jerry, we good?
Can you one more time show me which way you find that session 1, 2, 3 somewhere?
I'm sorry?
Those session 1, 2, 3, 4, where you find that? I mean, which
Our
option?
sessions, the one that I created?
No, the one you showed for listening session 1, 2, 3, the last option you just mentioned.
Okay, so they're under here on these. So when I clicked on this see more button, that's going to jump to KW Connect.
Oh, okay.
So they're just under your KW Connect page. So you can go directly to KW Connect under technology, and it's command your business.
Okay.
So you can go there either from this dashboard as a direct click, or you can go and bookmark kwconnect.com directly in your homepage and go to command your business.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, so let's talk about paid advertising, because that's one that gets all the glory, right? That's the sexy thing, right? Paid advertising. I ran all these leads. I captured all this. Before I even tell you this, I want to be very real and very specific with you about something. This is a great tool. It's a great vehicle. Okay. This is not going to be a windfall for your business. I'm going to be very, very real and very, very direct to you. Okay. You have to have a business. If this is the only way that you're getting business, you're going to struggle, right? You got to do open houses. You got to talk to your sphere. The conversion rates on the people that you capture online are very, very small. And the time frame for the majority of the people that you will capture online are further out. On average, you're looking at about 18 months. Okay. I'm not looking to discourage you here. I'm talking from best practices. When I relocated to Virginia in 2012, I came from Arizona. I was licensed in Arizona, and I moved back to the East Coast. When I came to Northern Virginia, I knew like 3 people. I didn't know anybody. Okay. So I did what I did to build my business, which was hold open houses, a lot of them. Okay. That's how I built my business back up again. Okay. Yeah. Fort Huachuca. No, that wasn't me. I was up in Phoenix. I thought I was going to have a windfall because I started paying for Boomtown. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Boomtown. Boomtown is a platform like Command. Okay. However, there's a hefty cost to something like Boomtown. $2,000 a month. That's right. $2,000 a month. I was outlaying for a platform, Command, because we had the Edge at the time, but we didn't, right? And it was a pay-per-click lead generation platform that they were going to manage and send people my way, right? What I was considering to be low-hanging fruit. Okay. Sure, I got leads, but they were all over the place, right? DC is a pretty broad area. 15 miles on a map looks a lot different than 15 miles driving or 20 miles. I was living in Ashburn, and I was getting leads in Frederick and Stafford and places that were so far out of my ability to manage and convert, right? It was very challenging. And the biggest problem with that was this. I was a solo agent paying for a system that really is built for teams. And you guys are aware that in order to convert somebody, and somebody reaches out to you online, how quickly do you need to be able to respond? Anybody?
Supposed to be within 5 minutes.
Yeah, immediately. Speed
I-
wins.
I would challenge you to try to respond in under 3, 1 to 3, 5. They may have reached out to 4 different people in that time period already, right? On a platform like Boomtown or any platform, Boomtown was $2,000 a month. Command ads and Facebook will never add up to anything like that unless you're crazy. And if you're going to spend that kind of money, talk to me first, please. The problem was I wasn't able to follow up as a solo agent. I was not able to respond in a timely fashion to the leads when they were coming in. I wasn't systematized. I didn't have a process of how I was going to convert at a high level. So I'm going to show you how to run Facebook ads, but I want you to ask yourself this question, and I want you to talk to your PC coach. I want you to talk to your market secretary. I want you to talk to team leader if you have to. How are you going to respond if somebody connects with you? Right? How are you going to respond? How regularly are you prepared to call them 6 times? Are you prepared to set them up on a smart plan? Because if you're not, I don't care if you're spending $10, it's a waste of money. Right?
Dave.
If you're not, hold on. If you're not prepared to follow up, waste your money. You have to think this way all the way through. And this is the conversation that I don't think we tell well enough to our associates about things like this. Lead generation is great. Cost is great. Cost doesn't mean anything if you're not prepared to convert. Go ahead, Michelle. Sorry about that.
Nope, that's all right. I wasn't sure when you were going to take a breath. So I'm coming at this from a change of career, and my previous career was content marketing. I wasn't the person who did the design and production work of videos. I had people who did that for me. So that I feel the pain, and I appreciate those people now. So developing content was one piece of it. To reiterate your point, a couple of things for folks: just write something. Don't worry about what you write. The person who helped me set up my first blog in like 0506, the first step was to just get me writing on a regular basis. It didn't matter how good or bad, just get content out there so that you're in the rhythm of it. So don't get hung up on what it is, and then you'll refine it over time. And to David's point, I do believe in inbound demand generation, but that's a long play for me, and it's hard. But to David's point, it's not gonna create me business right now. It's not gonna create a lot of business. But what myself and a couple others are noticing is that the millennials and the Gen Z, they look online, so they'll see they're gonna look you up. So if you met them at an open house and you send them something, then they're gonna look at, did you do a video? And they're going to listen to you. So we've had a couple of people who we've met who then went out and looked at our content. So it wasn't that the content brought them in. It just gave them something to look at to learn more about us and who we were as people, whether it was via a video or the type of things that we wrote. So, one, don't worry about what you're writing, just do it. And 2, don't count on it to drive business, but it helps to affirm who you are when those first-time buyers and younger generation are looking to find out more about you.
Perfect. And thank you for reaffirming that, Michelle. And you're right. Now I will tell you, it does matter grammar-wise. I'm going to be the grammar police, but my grammar is terrible.
Yeah.
So be careful of what you say and how you say it. Make sure it's correct.
You're right.
But yeah, consistency is the key about what shows up online. But having those plans, this follow-up, that really does matter. So I wanted to be real about that with you guys, okay?
So, Dave,
learn from my mistakes. Go ahead, Derek.
I was just going to say, so I've been running ads consistently since August. I have had probably about 200 leads come through doing that. One thing I've noticed, attach it to a listing, they tend to bring a whole lot more leads. There are other ways.
We're gonna talk to strategy about average when we get an
Yeah.
here.
But I was going to say, probably about a third of them are fake numbers or fake email addresses. So it's like any other funnel, you're going to be filtering down. Out of the 200, I probably have 5 to 10 that are within the 6 to 18 month time window. And then you have to stay on top of them because They're going to forget about you in a month if you're not touching them. They're going to forget about you in 6 months if you're not talking to them. So they're all on smart plans and everything like that. But if of those 5 to 10, one of them ends up selling, I've probably spent $300 on those ads since August. Way worth the return on investment.
And Jerry, I have the same phenomenon with a couple I'm working with. I don't pay for paid ads right now, for David's point. I don't have the system in place right now to really take advantage of it. But Jerry, even though you get wrong phone numbers or a wrong email address, if one of them's working, you got to keep following up, because this couple that I'm working with, she just kept following up, but they also went out and watched her videos. She does a lot of video, and got to know her on the video. And then when they were comfortable, they reached back into her. So, but it had everything to do with, she just kept calling once a week. Hey, I'm checking in again.
No,
You
you're
know,
spot
no
on,
response.
Michelle. Follow up with frequency and intensity. All right, so we're going to jump in to talk about building an ad now, so you all see what that looks like and how easy it is to actually do that. So from the dashboard, you see paid ads here at the top. So let's go ahead and create a new campaign. And how am I going to do this, right? So a paid social post is what we're looking to do here. I'm just going to call it test. And Derek started to mention this. For the most part, right, when I talk about testing out different things, I'm going to ask you to shy away from brand awareness or track buyers. Now, this doesn't really do too much here. This is just an internal tracking of what you were trying to accomplish. For the most part, you should be advertising a listing. That's going to be your highest level of conversion. Like, I've seen agents try to talk about refis. I'm like, are you a lender? They're like, no. I'm like, I'm talking about refis. It's okay to put stuff there on your business page, but I don't want you to waste your money on advertising refis. Right? It's just advertise listings, advertise as many listings as you can. Now, do you have to have permission to advertise listings that aren't yours? Everybody shake your head up and down and say, yes, David. Okay. You cannot advertise another agent's listing without permission. Okay. If you're doing an open house, that agent's going to give you permission to advertise that listing, right? If there's other people, you have to have written permission to advertise, strategically, specifically advertise a single listing. It's different than pulling listings from the MLS. Talk to your broker, talk to the TL. You've got to have permission to advertise listings, okay? This is recorded, so I'm safe. I'm protected. You can't say otherwise. All right. Peter knows, he feels me. All right, so we're going to advertise a listing here. Where are you going to run this campaign? Facebook and Instagram. Well, you'll notice in the beginning that when I connected my Facebook page and my Twitter page, there was not a Facebook or Instagram connection. If you have an Instagram account, Instagram is owned by Facebook, so it'll pick it up here on the back end. There's no place to say, hey, here's my Instagram channel yet, okay? So I'm going to go set up campaign. It's going to go to my screen. Now it's going to look similar to some of the other things that we've done, right? Search for a property. This has been our test case this week. So somebody's getting some free advertising in class, not in real life. Sometimes there's an issue. If this is only my listings, nothing is showing up, or it's active and it might be pending, right? So make sure that these information, change this from only my listings to all my listings, and you may see your listings. If your listing is active and it's not showing up here, okay, I'm not going to get into a whole channel. I want you to submit a ticket. I want you to talk to your Market Center Tech channel, because sometimes there needs to be a refresh that takes back on the back side to make sure it's pulling your information into the system. So if your listing is active and not showing up here, you can find it by going to all listings. And I want you to run a ticket through your Market Center Tech trainer to KW so they can do it. You should be seeing your listings within 30 minutes. If you're not, I want you to support a ticket. Don't wait 3 days and come in a panic and wait for your clients to come in. You guys are agents. You should check all the channels, right? All the channels, and make sure your listings are showing up properly. Now, we have no control over other channels, okay? I get these calls where I'm not on Zillow. I have no control over Zillow. KW has no control over Zillow. Let's be clear. We have control over KW. You have control over Bright, okay? Some are direct feeds, some are redirect feeds. Make sure you're on the big channels. And if your listing is not showing up here under your listing, run that through a support ticket. All right, so we're going to go ahead and select this property. My image is going to show up. It's going to pull that first image, right? Left-hand side, we're building the ad. Right-hand side of the screen shows me what the ad's going to look like when it's running. That's what I love about our platform. Anytime we're building something, websites, landing pages, right? Advertising, you're seeing the end result, right? That's just a great way to know it takes out the guesswork. At the top, I can change it. Facebook web, Facebook mobile, Instagram, Instagram story, right? Things are formatted differently. So it's good to know and pay attention to what my audience is going to see when I submit and send this thing live. Also, there's a guided tour at the top. Great way to kind of follow the purple bubbles. It's like the yellow brick road, right? But it's the purple bubbles of KW to walk you through the step-by-step outside of my class. So you've got your goal. We set that up. We pulled the listing. We got that live. Text. Text pulls directly from the listing. There's what I would tell you. You should modify your text. You see it's automatically showing up here in the right-hand side. Your text from your listing, not all the content is going to fit. You only got 250 characters here. You're going to want to modify that for an ad. Shorten it, be specific, make it exciting. And I'm going to be real with you again. I don't care how you feel about emojis. I don't care if you don't like them. Get over it and use them. Okay? Facebook has flat out said to us in every nuance of the word, the consumers engage with emojis. Okay? So if you want consumers and you want traction, you're going to do what KW says works, or what Facebook says works. A lot of this is agent interference, right? How you feel. I'm not going to say how you feel doesn't matter, but how you feel doesn't matter, right? You're in lead generation mode here. So put yourself out of it and work directly for the consumer. Use those emojis, put fire, put the googly eyes, put the house, put the dollar bills, put the up arrow, put the okay, put the little shit emoji if you want. If the house is a fix and flip and it's, whatever, I don't care. Right, Ted? Be real with your audience. They love this stuff. And don't do just one emoji. Like, I would say 3 to 5, depending on the number of characters. Don't just do one. Don't just trail them off the end. Interweave them inside of your theme, okay? So use the emojis. People will engage with them. It's just how it is. Headline. So the top was the description. Headline shows up here. Right? So that's showing up right on the right-hand side here. And then I've got another quick description. And the cool thing about the quick description is, right, it's not like the MLS description. It's just like this, you could be coming home to this. It's a quick hitter. And there's a couple of use suggestions where, again, we're taking the creation away from you because you lack it sometimes. And you can change these by hitting shuffle. All right, I like this one. Schedule a private tour with me today. And guess what? More emojis, right? Use the emojis. Okay, play with the different things. Now below it, you've got add media. You'll see that it pulled that first photograph from the MLS. We talked about that yesterday in designs, that KWS pulls all of your contact data automatically for all the listings, not just yours. All listing information is in here, okay? Because you might be doing an open house for a listing that's not yours. So you're gonna have access to everything. And whether they're KW or not, you actually have access to everything. That ties back to opportunities, right? But you have this add more button here. When I click on that, I'm gonna see the rest of those photographs. KW, Facebook, more importantly, not KW, Facebook allows you to add 5 additional pictures for 6 total, okay? You can go down through here, pick the other pictures that you want to use for this house. You have to pick them one at a time. Understand, do I want one by one to visit Facebook? What's my display going to look like, right? Set image and add these additional pictures. You could even add a video. If I had a walking video that was compliant, right, I could paste that video in here to utilize that. You can only do one video. You can't do more than one. The reason you want to add additional photographs, and you see how this is kind of scrolling on the right-hand side now because there's more there. Facebook analytically is going to look at the pictures that you're using in your ads as it starts to shuffle through them. it's going to identify the photographs that elicit the best responses. And then it will take more of your spend and direct it around the images that are getting the most emotion out of the consumer. So you don't have to worry about, okay, what's working? Facebook's going to do it for you. And it can only do that if you give it more photographs. So I encourage you to max out the picture count for the carousel, okay, and let Facebook do its magic on the back end. That's what they do so well, right? They identify what's working. Save the media, okay? And then next chop down is configure your channel options. So you're going to see your account. And if you have multiple accounts like I do, then you can pick where it's going to go. But most of you should just have your one, which should be your business page. Okay. I happen to have a couple of business pages in my market centers. That's why you see multiple here. Where's my ad position? You can play around with Instagram or Instagram story on Instagram. Which one or the other do I want it to go? This is a big important question. So earmark this, okay? Do I want to use a Facebook generated form or do I want to use a site landing page? Because you now know that you can create a site landing page contact form. My recommendation and Facebook's recommendation and KW's recommendation is that you use the Facebook lead generated form. Okay. Let Facebook capture that information for you. People are more comfortable and more apt to give you as accurate information as they can. You know, as Michelle and Derek were talking earlier about the validity of emails and phone numbers, or Minnie Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck registering on your account. I don't care what their names are. And I don't care to a degree if they give me bogus information. I'm not going to throw them in the trash can. If they're coming back, I have them on the line and they're just not comfortable. We've all been there, right? We put bogus information online all the time. I've got a specific email that's specifically utilized for junk mail, right? davestrashcan@gmail.com. That's what I use to register all the bunk that I sometimes feel the need to register online. So don't be self-conscious that you're getting bogus information inside of your command. That's okay. Now, so recommended using the Facebook lead generation form. You don't see it, but just know that it functions well in the background. Below that is a call to action button that shows up on your ad that you're seeing here at the top. You see that learn more? There's a sign up or apply now. Those are the only options. Learn more fits best if I'm advertising a listing, right? Now, follow-up destination URL. Here you could put, if you created a listing landing page that we talked about, you could do that. I like to go to my Facebook page, or sorry, my website. This is what I prefer to do. I'm giving you advice, but other people may tell you differently, and that's okay. So I can, I might actually just grab the property in here. I might go in there, zoom in on the area, search for the property. Oh, I have my locator turned off. Oopsie. So maybe this was the property that I was going to advertise. This up here is the domain name for that listing on your website. So what I actually like to do is use that as my redirect, okay? And the error is because I have HTTP, because it will default. So I don't need it. And then I would paste that link. If you're going to use your created landing page, then you can actually click this choose landing page from here, and it'll see that you have landing pages that you built. Remember we went over that when we built the class on Monday, how to build a landing page for a listing, although we did open houses. You could grab that from your list of landing pages. Both are completely acceptable and okay. I just happen to like to drive them to my website because if this property is not the one they're interested in, they might start surfing and looking for other things. They're right and wrong, just a method to doing something. All right, ad targeting. You're going to use custom settings, okay? You're going to ignore target my database from now, okay? We're not going to have that conversation. We're going to target a custom audience, okay? Now, it recognizes that this listing is in Newport News, right? So that's why it's pulling this. You can change that. right? You don't have to run the ad around Newport News. What if I know that people are moving from Seattle to Newport News and I want to advertise this listing in Seattle? Well, then I can advertise the listing in Seattle. I can change where my audience is. I can customize this. Maybe I want to run 2 ads. Maybe I want to run an ad around Newport News and another ad for Seattle. Would that make sense? If I knew that people were, maybe it's Crystal City because I know people are coming here for Amazon, right? That was the big thing, right? New HQ. We're going to talk about referral maps tomorrow so you can kind of see what some of that looks like, but you can advertise wherever you want. I'll leave it. Now, what you can't do is I can't go less than 15-mile radius. Facebook has gotten in trouble for steering. Okay, so you can't get too specific. You can't exclude certain neighborhoods. We all understand that as why around realtors. We cannot do those things. So Facebook prevents you from doing that. So you can only go to a 15-mile radius. And I forget how far out. Ted, Jerry, Derek, do you recall what the radius mile, is it 50 miles?
I've not gone that far. I'm not positive. I've put it, I mean, I've done, like, we're military
50.
down here in Hampton Roads, so I've targeted Jacksonville and San Antonio, like other cities for PCSing families, but I've kept it to 20 miles wherever I'm at.
Yeah. I just increased it as far as it goes, 50 miles.
Yeah, I was gonna say I usually stay around 30,
Okay.
20 and 30.
So below that is expert targeting. So targeting, okay, and you can click this interest button. So now think about your own Facebook account. At some point in time, you may have told Facebook what you are interested in. Okay, maybe you're interested in do-it-yourself stuff. There's a like for that, right? Maybe you told Facebook that you like luxury, right? There's luxury vehicle, luxury property. Maybe you told Facebook that you like architecture. Over here, there's an or button. If you use or, then it starts to kind of collate them all together. Totals those audiences up. If you use the word and, it narrows that audience. So be careful of the and or experience because you might eliminate too many people and not have good return on that ad. So be very conscious if you do and or when using additional interests. Okay. And what I do recommend that you do is that the first time you go in here to play around with this, take a look at the interests. All right, see what's there. And if I recall, in that command conversion channel, somebody actually went through and earmarked the best ones for certain types of ads. That's why some of these groups are great. So that's what this targeted audience is. You're going to get your ad in front of people that have told Facebook, I like luxury, or I like do-it-yourself, or I like architecture. Understanding the listing that you're advertising and identify certain audiences that might be interested in that type of property. Is it investment, right? So because it needs work, so maybe that's do it yourself. Maybe it fits in, I'm a luxury agent, so therefore people that are into luxury cars, luxury homes will be interested, or architects might be interested in my property. Be specific about your audience. Don't just kind of throw it out there, right? That's why this works. Okay, then you save your selections. Lead settings, okay? I don't think this is live yet. This is one of those times where I'm seeing something for the first time, and I think it's because I'm in my Labs account. I don't know if anyone else has seen this. This is coming, and I'm not sure if it's live. So you're getting to see it for the first time. When I run an ad, and this is exciting because this really goes live, it's awesome. When I run an ad, oh, what happened here? We're going to run a couple of minutes long here. Darn network. When I run an ad, it allows me to, what did I do on my network? Because I didn't save my crap. That's on me. My network is wonky when I got all my kids in school. Just got to jump to the bottom here because we covered all this other information here. this auto tag and auto smart plans. So when Facebook leads come in, at the moment, you have to tag them Facebook leads. And if you recall smart plans, when I tag them, I could have them set up on an auto trigger. This is going to take that step and automate it to another level. Okay. And I know my MCTTs are seeing this for the first time too, is that when a Facebook lead comes in, I can tell it to tag it Facebook lead or tag it open house or tag it 123 Nation, whatever the tag was, I want this tagged. And then I can auto assign it to smart plans directly from here. So those things respond instantaneously. Somebody signs up on this and I have them on a Facebook follow-up smart plan. Okay. I think there was a question earlier in a group about Facebook smart plans and triggers, right? This will launch those smart plans on Magicus. The moment a lead comes in from Facebook and I have a Facebook follow-up campaign set up to go, maybe that first one is, hey, thanks for registering on my website, text, then that's going to launch. That's what this lead settings is. That's coming up. I don't think it's live for everybody yet, but you're seeing it firsthand, first time. This is exciting, cool stuff. Then at the bottom is your duration and budget. Okay. When do I want to run an ad? So you need to know that when you are setting up a Facebook ad, you need 24 hours approval period. So if I need to run this today, you're too late. It's not going to work. Okay. You got to give yourself 24 hours. So think about your week. If I'm advertising, if I want to run an open house for the weekend, I need to start planning. I always coach people to start planning their open houses on Sunday or Monday the week before, because there's things you should be doing. I start scheduling my Facebook ads to start running on Wednesdays, and they run through Sunday. Right? I like having a minimum of 5-day run time around my ads to generate the best lead conversions, the best audiences. If you're going to run it for 24, 48 hours, your conversion, your actual capture is going to be very small audience. They will tell you to run it for 10 days. Listings work that way. Open houses don't. So be conscious of how long you're running, 3, 5, 7, 10 days. And when you start looking at your results, you'll start to see that there'll be a sweet spot for the number of days that you run for an ad, okay, for conversion. What's my budget? What's my spend? Okay. And the cool thing about the spend, okay, is I get to tell Facebook I can't remember. I checked. Oh, this one is not showing up. When I first, let's do this real quick. When I have multiple channels, if I'm doing it on Facebook or if I'm doing it on Instagram too, I can tell Facebook here to spend the money equally on each channel, or I can say, look, Facebook, I trust you. Wherever I'm getting the best results from, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, lean one way or the other. That's what I choose to do. I choose to let Facebook figure out algorithmically, just like I do with my pictures, where that spend is going to go based on the best conversions. So that's my recommendation. Let Facebook determine where you're placing that post if you're running it on more than one channel. Then you're going to head and save your budget, which I'm not going to do because I just haphazardly created this ad and I'm not going to do that. Now, after you run those leads, I'll show you, this is your results page. Okay. Completed blad. Here's what you're seeing here. 10 days it ran for. Here's was my cost per, I had 2,700 impressions. It cost me roughly 88 cents per click. And this was a little bit higher when I ran this one. It cost me $4 for 17 leads over 10 days. I could break the bank, but I had 17 leads come in. I could actually click on the leads. It'll give me the list of all the leads it captured for that particular place, for that particular ad, sorry. Okay. They're tagged here because now at this point I had to manually tag these Facebook campaigns. I just showed you now it's going to start doing that automatically for you soon, right? And they're all going to show up as leads. So this is my follow-up list. I knew who I need to call. I knew who logged in over underneath a particular campaign. It tracks all that for you. That's important to know, right? Your spend, your accountability to your finances, right, is important to know, right? Then you've got the 3 dots. I could duplicate that campaign if I want to run it again. Now, here's what you can't do. If I'm running a campaign and it's live, I can't edit the campaign. I can't go in and make changes to a running campaign. I can copy it, I can stop it, I can start a new. Can't edit a running campaign. Okay, that's important to know. If I paid $100 for a 10-day campaign and I stop it on day 6 because I ratified one under contract, okay, I'm not going to get a refund for those 4 days from KW. KW doesn't hold your money. You're paying that $100 up front. What's going to happen is the next time you run a campaign, okay, you're going to have a list here, and I forget exactly where it is. It's under payments. Here you go. You're going to have your metrics, and if you have any credits under payments, it'll show. And the next campaign you run, that balance of what you paid for, that $100, maybe it's $40, will be applied to the next campaign. KW doesn't handle your money, so they're not refunding money. So I want to be clear about that. If you were running your ad specifically through Facebook, they're only going to charge you what the spend was. But because we're the middleman here in that relationship, it's all paid up front. That's just the way, there's no workaround. That's just the way that it is. And it'll be run on your next campaign. So I want you all to be clear about that too. Important to know, because when we first launched, there was some. Anyways, you see what you spend on each campaign and you see what you have left is what I'm trying to say. So we covered paid ads, we covered social posts. That leaves emails and direct mail. And we ran a little bit long because we had an open conversation. I'm going to pause here because the paid ads is probably the most important thing. If you hang with me, I'll go into a little bit more detail about emails. I'm not going to cover direct mail today. But I want to see what questions are. Facebook is one that is highlighted the most. People talk about the most. So we spent the most time talking about the Facebook ad. What questions are there around Facebook, running the Facebook ad? Okay, no questions. Jerry, you guys been taking care of everybody in chat, I'm assuming, so makes it easy for the questions that way.
I have a quick question. Is there any way that you can see the ad that you generated on Facebook?
No,
There
because
is.
remember the ad that you're running, okay, is an ad. So you're not going to see it on your business page. So you see it here that you created it,
Right.
but it doesn't post to your page. It's you're not part of that target audience unless you are. Like you might see it show up on your page if you're part of that target audience.
I just always really wonder, is it really there?
It's there. You got to trust it. The results are here, right? The results are going to be on your page.
Right.
But that's the difference. You just have to trust that it's running, right? And that's where we kind of talk about trial and error. But the only way you'll see your ad is if you're part of that target audience. And I know it's hard to kind of wrap our minds around, but that's how it works.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Could you explain, is it the number of clicks? Is that just the person clicking on the ad? What does that mean?
Yeah, sure. Perfect question. So when I look at this, so impressions are how many eyes saw it, right? So this ad showed up in front of 2,700 people. Okay. Clicks means that of those 2,700 people, 85 of them clicked on the ad. They wanted to learn more about the ad. And then 17 leads meant that 17 people clicked on the ad and gave Facebook information to learn more about that ad. So I was able to capture their information. So eyes, engagement, and capture. That's what we're looking at here.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Good question, right? And then how much of that did I spend? I spent all $75. We want to take a minute and talk about email campaigns, or you guys want to pause here? You're good on Facebook ads.
Yes, email, please.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's talk to email. So yesterday we talked about email designs, okay, inside of Facebook, or not Facebook, sorry, inside of Command Designs. Right? You can build your email. You can build your email template. And the cool thing about emails is that I can email them as part of a smart plan, or I can email them out to a list of people from my database. So in order for me to email them, I have to have that command email set up with a reply email. And we've gone through that and talked about that a number of times now. I'll see here, if I go to email, that of my 5,000, I have 4,900 left. Great, so I don't have to worry about increasing my amounts. If you're emailing a lot, you may have to buy more. You're giving 5,000 free, but if you're doing a credible amount of emails, you may have to increase that by upgrading your account, okay? Now, first thing you need to do in order to send out an email, I have to have a list of people that I'm going to send it to. So if you click configure list, okay, you can build a list, which is an audience of your Facebook, I'm sorry, your command audience. Right? So if you click create list, you can go through here, your database, okay, in search by tags. I got to change it to search by tags. Facebook ad. Okay, to see who's on my list. There we go. So you can filter by list. If I just kind of grab. All right, so there we go. So we'll see different people, and then I can grab them, okay, and create them and add them to a list. Oh, I have to give it a name. And then I confirm and build out that list. Once I have that list built, okay, then they'll show up here on my list. And it's still building that out, so it may take a couple minutes depending on the amount of people that you added to that list, but then they'll show up on your created list here. Now I'll just use this my top 200 as an example, where the other one is kind of cycling and building. I'm going to create a new campaign. So this, instead of a social ad, I'm building an email ad or email campaign. And maybe I'm doing an event, maybe it's movie night. And I want to email them. If you're using MailChimp, you can connect that here. Set up campaign. Oh. This is an event awareness for me. Okay. So you'll get this similar looking building page, right? Select my list for my dropdown. Who's it being sent from? And what's my reply to email address? That should default there. What's the subject? Okay. Now I select my content. I can create something new, right? Or I could grab something from my KW templates that I may have already created. So I could either start from scratch, which is cool. I can do that right in here, or I could choose a design element that I've already built out. If I create something new, then it's going to take me into the designer, right? Just what we worked on yesterday. We talked about building these out yesterday, right? Fill out, save and exit. I'm just gonna, even though I didn't configure it, I'm just grabbing it real quick for the sake of time. And we'll see on the right-hand side, this is the email, what it's going to look like going out to my people. Okay, pulled in my contact information and then whatever other information I would have built out when I created that, right? I did not do that at that point. So we've got that all created. I can schedule when that's going to go. I could send it out. Okay, I can have a couple of actions here. I can look at the preview email and I can send a test email to myself. And when I click send, that'll go to everybody that was on that list. Or I can schedule it out when I want it to go. So you build a list, your audience, I can send everything out. Okay. There is overlap between smart plans and emails, right? There's different reasons. Like smart plans are multiple steps. Command email could be a one-off thing that I'm just sending out to one person. So they run independently of each other, but they do some similar elements. Emails are one step. Smart plans are typically multiple step. Well, theoretically, I could create a one-step smart plan and do that. Sometimes, as we know, the challenges around certain things in command function. The nice thing is that you've got two options. I could run a one-step smart plan and send this you're invited, or I could send this email campaign out to a targeted list. No right or wrong there. You can do one of either. But you saw how quickly it was to create a list, how quickly it was to generate the audience for that list. Now, I don't think it's fixed yet, but I'm going to show you something of how to quick build a list. And they were having trouble with this, but I'm going to show you that it's there. At the moment, I don't think you can build a quick targeted list from Facebook, but the intention, or from Command Database, but the intention is to let you do that. So if I actually selected a certain amount of people here and I go to bulk action and I click add to email list, we're going to see if it's working. I know it was not. All right, so I'm not seeing all of my lists there. So there looks like they're still doing a little work on some of those things there. But this will be another way that you can build out some quick lists or add people to lists that were created. So that's in development. Just wanted you to know that that's there, and that's an enhancement that is going to be available to you for the platform. We're coming up on that 11:15 is usually when I try to pull the plug. So let's kind of pause here and see if there is any other questions.
David, we just had one. Is there a maximum number of cutoff contacts that can be on the list? 250, 500, 1,000?
I have not tested it. So that would be a great thing to go into answers.kw.com and look at that. That off the top of my head, I don't have, to be real, I don't know.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I wanted to create something similar to what other CRMs have, where you can set up, for instance, all the 2021 holidays, an email where I can set it up as a smart plan where I can set all the dates specifically, so each of my leads or the people that I have in my contacts receive an email each specific time of the next holiday. Is there a way to do that?
Right now, smart plans are not date triggered. That's something that I'm working on building into that. So what you would have to do, two-step process, you could actually set a task for yourself to, hey, send out holiday cards, send out holiday emails. I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but right now, smart plans are not date triggered, other than the birthday one. That's the only one.
And what if I do the campaigns emails? Do they have a specific date, timing?
No, as you saw, you could go ahead. So you could go in there and schedule the date that I want that email. So if I created a holiday card for each one, theoretically, you could do it that way and schedule the dates that you want those to go. So if I created an email campaign for happy birthday, or I'm sorry, for Happy New Year's, and then I created one for Merry Christmas, I could pick the date that I want those to go out. So it would work that way. So that's separate from Smart Plan. So that could be a workaround for you right now, that if you created that post, to do it that way.
When do you think we're going to have that ability to?
I don't put dates. There's no way you can get me to put a date on anything.
No dates on anything yet.
I don't put dates on anything, because what happens is when that date comes and goes, you're going to be, well, Dave said. So I always use the word ish.
But they're working on it, right?
Dates. I can tell you that's something that they are working on. I do not have an ETA on that for you.
All right, I appreciate the answer.
Yeah, there's a lot of danger around dates because people get upset. Right? We used to give dates on certain things, and then,
all right,
for a lot of different reasons, dates get missed, right? Because one line of code breaks sometimes. So that's the hard thing with dates.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, great questions though. So what do you guys think? Tomorrow we're doing referrals, and we're going to wrap it up. Some of you guys have been with me for all 8 days. I hope you're getting a lot of good information here. We're going through things very quickly at a very high level. I've said it once, said it 1,000 times. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't think you got to master all this, because you're not. It's going to take you time. It's taken me years. And they are rolling stuff out so quickly that I can't stay abreast of everything. There's a lot of times where I get questions from some of you guys. Like, I just got to ask a question about how many, I didn't know off the top of my head. I'm going to have to go look that up. I'm going to go to answers.kw.com, because that's Google for command, right? Keep up the good work. Keep playing around. Keep pushing the boundaries for yourself, but focus on the fundamentals. Fundamentals are contacts. Make robust contact information for yourself, right? You take a listing, you do an open house, run a Facebook ad. Don't worry about too much around the capture. Be prepared to respond to capture. But remember, if you're having an open house, take a listing, the expectation is that you're going to advertise it. So there's that, right? That's important. Secondly, right, it also gets your brand awareness out to people. Like, well, if I'm advertising a listing, but I'm looking for buyers, or if I'm advertising a listing, but I'm looking for buyers, you're going to get both, right? If I'm advertising an open house, believe it or not, people that are potential listing sellers in those neighborhoods are going to see those things, right? Because they're surfing online and they're looking at it for both. So they're going to make the assumption, if you're representing open houses or advertising listings, that you take listings. So don't get tripped up too much as to who my audience is, buyers or sellers. You're going to get both. All right, everybody. So I'll see you all tomorrow at 10, and we will go over referrals. Thanks for everybody for joining me today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.